Lrdi set number 3. 7 candidates were contested for the post of president in Delhi University. In round 1, any candidate gets more than 50% of the total number of votes will be declared as the winner, right? Else, the top 5 candidates based on the number of votes will move to round 2. Similarly, in round 2, if any candidate manages to get more than 50% of the votes, he or she will be declared as the winner. Else, the top 3 candidates from round 2 will move to round 3, right? So in round 3, the candidate who gets the maximum number of votes will be declared as the winner, and it is given that in any round no 2 candidates got the same number of votes, right? This means that in any round all the candidates will be given distinct number of votes, right? So the table below gives the number of votes received by these 7 candidates in round 1. Okay, so let me first rearrange these candidates according to their number of votes from highest to lowest. So the highest vote received by Sheila, then it comes R, then K, J, P, A, and the least number of votes received by Hakim, right? Now when you add up all these number of votes, you will get a number greater than 21,000, right? So we can clearly see that no candidate in round 1 have received more than 50% of the votes. No one has received more than 50% of the votes, right? So the top 5 candidates, which is from Sheila to Pravesh, will move to round 2. Okay, so let us proceed this set by question, and we'll try to calculate the answer. So it says if 15,000 votes were cast in round 2, then the maximum sum of number of votes received by the candidate who got the maximum votes and the number of votes received by the candidate who got the minimum votes in that round could not be less than. Could not be less than means that we have to calculate the least value of this summation, right? So in round 2, I know there are 5 candidates, right? So I have to calculate the maximum possible number of votes received by a candidate plus the minimum number of votes received by other candidate, right? So in order to minimize this summation, I will assume that the 5th candidate received no votes, okay, and 15,000 votes were polled in round 2. Hence I will split this 15,000 into 4 values such that all these values will be as equal as possible. Okay, so if you do so, you will get 3752, then 3751, 3749, 3748 as the respective number of votes received by these 4 candidates. The summation of maximum and minimum votes will be 3752. Hence it is the answer. Next question, it says if the winner was decided after round 3 and 10,000 votes were cast in each of the round 2 and 3, then the total number of votes received in the 3 rounds put together by a candidate who was not the winner, right? So I have to maximize the votes of a candidate who is not a winner, overall winner, right? So in order to calculate the maximum number of votes, I will make that candidate winner in the round 1. Winner means the candidate who got the maximum number of votes in round 1, right, and the maximum number of votes in round 2, right, and the second highest number of votes in round 3. That particular candidate will get the second highest number in round 3, so as he is not a overall winner, right. Now I know that 10,000 votes were polled in round 2 and 3 respectively. So I will split this 10,000 in round 3 such that this second candidate will get the maximum number of votes, the maximum possible number of votes, right. So in order to maximize this value, I will give 0 vote to the third candidate, because there are 3 candidates contested in round 3, right, and I break this 10,000 into 2 distinct values such that those values would be as equal as possible, because I have to minimize this value. When this value will be minimized, the second value will be maximized automatically. So the value which I got will be 5001 and 4999, and the third is 0, right. In the round 2, I will give the topmost candidate the maximum number of votes, the maximum possible number of votes in round 2, right. So the maximum number of votes such that he is not declared as a winner will be 50% of the votes, because if he received more than 50%, then he will be the winner in round 2 itself, right, which is not desired, because he have to lose in round 3 from the other winner, right. So 50% of 10,000 will be 5,000, right, and the maximum number of votes in round were of Sheila, that was 3160, right. So I have to basically add up 3160, 5000 and 4999. The value, when you adds up all these 3 values, will give you 13159. So hence option D is the correct answer choice. Next, if 8000 votes were cast in round 2 and 12,000 votes were cast in round 3, then the total number of votes received in 3 rounds put together by the candidate who won the election could not be less than. So I have to give the minimum number of votes to a candidate who has won the election, right. So similarly, round 1, round 2 and round 3. Total number of votes polled in round 3 will be 12,000, and in round 2 were 8,000. In round 3, the winner will be the person who received the maximum number of votes, right. So the minimum number of votes in 12,000 received by a candidate who has to be winner will be 4001, right. I will have to minimize this value. So in order to minimize this value, I will split this 12,000 into 3 values such that all 3 values will be as equal as possible, right. Then other value will be 4000 and the third value will be 3999, right. In round 2, that candidate will receive 2 votes. Why? Because I have to calculate the least number of possible votes received by the candidate such that he is end with the winner in round 3, right? So in round 2 I will just qualify that candidate such that he reaches in round 3 and ends in the winner of the election, right? And in the round 1 I will take the person who got the least number of votes, that is Pravesh, not Hakim, because Pravesh is the last person who was qualified in round 2, right? So I just have to add up all these value, 4001. Okay, so when you do so, you will get 7087 as the summation. Hence option A is the correct answer choice. Last, the number of votes received in the first 2 rounds put together by candidate who reaches round 3 could not be less than. So the required person is Pravesh, right, who received 3084 votes in first round, right? So he has qualified in round 2 and I have to make him qualify in round 3 as well. Okay, so in order to make him qualify in round 3, I will again give him 2 votes. I will maintain him in the top 3 candidates, right? So the required summation will be 3084 plus 2, 3086 is the answer. Option B is the right answer choice.